It's winter in Ohio, which is also known as upgrade season. Now, racing and vanning happen all over the country all year long, and some guys are lucky enough to have programs where they can travel south out of Ohio for the winter and still do racing or van events. We're not there yet, but we use these winter months to upgrade things and make it better so that we can come out swinging in the spring. One of the big things we knew we had to fix was being able to change the spark plugs without pulling the headers off. Even if we're not running nitrous, I need to know what's happening in the combustion chamber, and there was only one place to take it. Javon Green and DKG Fabrications is such a master craftsman and takes so much pride in his work. There was no one else I wanted touching this exhaust system. His list of satisfied customers and outstanding recommendations says everything you need to know. I had a basic, very novice idea of how to make the headers work so we could get the spark plugs in and out. But once it was in his hands, he went to work and absolutely surpassed anything I could have thought of. The next thing on the to-do list was the transmission and converter. When we first put it together, it was a very street-friendly, tight 10-inch converter and even an automatic valve body. But the nitrous definitely doesn't like it and blows right through it. So once again, it was very obvious there was only one place to go. Armed with all the data I could give them, I turned everything over to Bubba and 501 Perfect Converter. So while he's working his magic, we're also adding a trans brake and a manual valve body to the trans. I was very adamant when we first put it together that I just wanted it to be very street friendly and actually had thoughts that my wife might be able to drive it from time to time. So it's always had drive, and I like that because I leave it there for my burnout. But we've gotten to a point in the past couple years where we know how we drive the van and we know what events we go to, and it's just time to upgrade. Since I'm used to foot braking the van, I didn't have to worry about relearning letting go of a button on the steering wheel, so I bought this shifter so I could have the trans brake button right on the top, and the secondary button can be for my nitrous purge. It just makes it a lot cleaner. The next thing on the list isn't so much an upgrade as just a necessity, as I really like doing long burnouts. Whether it's on a no prep surface, on a prep track surface, or even just exhibition, the van's a little hard on tires. And unfortunately, tires are something that's on the national supply shortage list. So when I saw Discount Tire advertising that I could get the tires that I needed in 1 to 5 business days, I hurried up and ran over to their store. But you can't believe everything you see on the internet, and they could not get me any tires for 3 months. So instead of dealing with them, I went right back to Summit, who I know is at least going to be first in line when Mickey Thompson starts making new tires. It's 18 degrees with a wind chill of 4, and it's time to pick up the van. Right before taking it over to DKG, the van decided it needed another upgrade. The battery does not work anymore. It's an Optima yellow top, it's only a few years old, but it will not hold a charge. Not only did he rework the header, but he built a beautiful 4-inch straight exhaust with a 43-degree angle with tips that exit right before the rear tire. This thing sounds the best it has ever sounded. We've been fighting the carburetor tune with going back and forth between open headers and exhaust, and it just gets so fat and fouls plugs out that I didn't want it to deal with it anymore. We have no mufflers, no back pressure, and this is the way it'll stay. So now we can put a perfect tune in that carburetor, and it should just be right all the time. Even with only a short 20-minute drive home, the battery would not start. It's time for this thing to go.
Sounds really good.
So the van's home, so we can get the new shifter installed and two-step set up. And with a little persuasion, I think we'll have a converter to drop off at the trans shop next week.